So this is where the pellet stove comes out, right? And it's leaving this black spot. I was like, oh my god, it's so ugly and obvious, right? And then I haven't been out for a little while because it was freezing and seasonal depression and losing my son. I was just wrapped up inside warm and cozy. So I finally made it out today because it's nicer out, but the wind is blowing like crazy. Look at all the beautiful new green grass coming up only where the pellet stove comes out at. Everything else is mostly dead. All around you see just a lot of death. Oh, and that's my greenhouse that didn't make it through the last windstorm. 2 years it survived everything, and then now it's just a wreck. So sadly, very, very sadly, I announce I am out of a greenhouse. I do not have one, and I am devastated because we have long winters up here, and I like to spend my time in the greenhouse when the weather was so miserable outside. And that is gone. Oh, also in springtime and summer, I just love being in the greenhouse. It was one of my favorite places. Hopefully my next one will be a little bit bigger, that I could put a chair and a table out there and spend a little bit more time in my greenhouse. Just heartbreaking. This is the first time I've actually looked at it, and I've been back for almost a month, and I have not even been strong enough to even come look at it. I was devastated. But look at the green out of this, or whatever, out of the darkness is the new green, and it's beautiful. But let me show you. I'm not going to walk on it because I just love it. Okay, so let me show you. I mean, there's a lot of pieces missing, by the way. This is not all of it. This is what's left of it. So I'm going to try to salvage the bamboo because I really love them. But it's just a goner. And it's so sad. But let me show you, oh my god, the neighbor's trash is coming over and they don't even have the balls to come get it. They're such horrible people. I hate them. Well, I don't hate them. I mean, I just wish that they would not be living there in the yard, because they have these dogs that, except for today, every single time I would come in the backyard, the entire time I'm in the yard, they bark. And it's been like a year, and the dogs still cannot figure out that they don't live here and other people do. And you'd think that they would know us by now, because most neighbors' dogs figure out who you are rather quickly, right? So this is some of what's left of the greenhouse, and some of what's left of my gardening and flowers and everything else. But see, I have a whole bunch of those. Well, not a whole bunch, but I have several of those bamboos, the trellises, and unfortunately they're not super tall, and the little support pieces are just itty bitty, like probably 2 toothpicks, so they're not super strong or anything. But and this I bought, and it had lights on it, and so it was all, the strand of lights were in pieces when I got it, so it didn't go well at all. And it's just connected with, let me find them, these little silver pieces, itty bitty little things, right? And that's what it's connected with. And so I thought it would be awesome and it's less so, and it's so weak and flimsy that no matter which stakes you use, you would literally have to put one every half a foot to make it even stand up at the top. Like, it is absolutely miserable. So what I did was use a bunch of these T-posts, and I had it around my green beans. I had rattlesnake green beans, which are awesome and beautiful, and so it worked for that, but I had literally had to put these like every 6 inches. It was ridiculous. And then this was squash, and it's gone. And wow, there's one of those little solar lights. There's still one left after all that drama. I wonder where the other one might have gone to. But anyway, so yeah, this is the first time that I've even looked at this mess here. I am just so sad. You should have seen the amount of snow and wind and everything it survived for 2 years. And you can see, like, that's what my squash and stuff was growing up. And I had actually mixed up a bunch of seeds. So I had squash and cucumber, all kinds of squash, and cucumber and pumpkin and all kinds of stuff mixed up together. And that's what I let take over the greenhouse this year. And I wasn't like a helicopter parent. I just let it do whatever it wanted and made sure it was, you know, safe and healthy in there. And it was going wild. And through my trips back and forth from Colorado and in Kansas and everything, it was neglected, and the roomie did not give it any water. So I came back to a bunch of dead things. And let's see. So, you know what? It's always smart to keep thistle or something violent, like a rose bush, which is beautiful and violent, under a window. Trust me, it's really actually very wise. And then back to, oh yeah, and so the choke cherries were so heavy this year, it had to get some support. They were almost on the ground. These choke cherries grow like amazing. I still have some in the freezer. But yeah, there's the green grass. Isn't it beautiful? And then this was a Jefferson weed. You can see some seed pods did not break open. I'll have to deal with that. But like I said, this is the first time in all these days that I've actually come out here. So that is some dust remnants from something about the pellet stove, like the first go around or a clean out or something. And then these are where my rattlesnake beans were growing, and so I had that green thing wrapped around here and attached to these along with several posts. And it really only was just this little bit of space, so it wasn't that hard to keep it clear from the deer. And I had it wide open on the porch side. The porch needs redone. It's been there for a very, very long time. I don't want to hear you tell me about it. I already know it's not my house. I just rent a room here. And I have free reign of the yard. So this is this little flower bed I got on Amazon, and it's absolutely amazing. It has it's just awesome. I love these little things. And of course you put it together, and they have round ones and different shaped ones, but I chose the square because I think it's awesome. And my granddaughter wanted the posts for sparkly purple, so I don't know if you can see it in the sun, but they are sparkly purple posts. And unfortunately for her, I didn't do the entire flower bed in the sparkly purple, but she loved the posts and she loved helping with the project. And I still don't know if you can see any of the sparkle or not, but it is just really very cute. And then these were cucumbers and melons and things like that in this little space. Oh, and a couple tomatoes. And then I have some mullein coming back right there. And then, as you can see in these buckets, once again, oh yeah, and some of my quartz collection. My favorite rock to collect from the Black Hills is quartz. And, so this is the pellet stove when it gets cleaned out. And underneath that is soil. And, this is going to get all mixed up next year for some of my planting. And let me tell you, these are the fake pieces of wood that come in the pellet stove. And I kept swearing I smelled plastic over and over and over again, right? It's a brand new pellet stove. So I kept swearing I smelled plastic. These things are toxic if they have fire around them. And once they were gone, the plastic smell went too, and my sinuses and everything are finally starting to clear up from inhaling that. So if you have a pellet stove and you're using it for heat and you have a good fire in it, you need to take those out because they are not good for you. I don't know if it's every single pellet stove, but they're not good for you and you need to get rid of them. And these buckets came from the feed store in Whitewood, South Dakota. They all have cracks in the bottom of them, so they can't be sold, and they're giving away for free. And they have different colors. Each color is a different size. And I have a forest green one in the backyard, but it is ginormous, like for the size of a tree. And this crystal rock, quartz rock, is my favorite because to me it looks like a mountain with snow on the top. Can you see that? Or is I messing it up? Anyway, that is absolutely one of my favorites because, like I said, it reminds me of the snow at the top. And I found another one a little bit smaller, just like it, that I gave to one of my granddaughters. And she absolutely adores it. She sleeps with it by her bed at night. And you could see that I do still have, oh, there's some mullein coming up there. There was sage and mullein right there. But you can see that there's a few things still coming up. I think I still have some carrots under there I should probably dig up. My granddaughter loves the colorful carrots. And so I planted like rainbow carrots in there for her, as well as some purple ones. And with all that was going on since September, we never went in to harvest them. So I bet I have some carrots under there. Anyway, so yeah, this is what wintertime is like. I'll show you my roses. They look so sad right now. But aren't my rocks pretty? Just gorgeous. And so this is a rose bush that was transplanted from a logging operation in the Black Hills. And obviously, nobody cared because it was going to get trampled by big trucks and things, you know, a whole logging operation. And so I can't remember what that is, but it looks like maple leaves when it grows. I think it's maple that I'm thinking of. Anyway, beautiful leaves. And then this little rose bush was also a rescue from a logging operation, as was that little one that's on the bamboo right there. And there's another one over here, but the man went psychotic and, oh, there it is. You can see it right there. But the man went crazy and took over absolutely everything. And so I was giving away and selling mint, spearmint and cat mint, and some others too. I had quite the array of mint this year. But look how beautiful they are. And they're all rescued from a logging operation. So I have Black Hills wild roses in the yard. And this one is a peach colored rose, and every now and then it has a red one on it. But I will show you them again when they liven up. Oh, and look at my heart rock. Do you see the little heart rock? Oh, I can't see, my hair's in the way. Can you see the little heart rock? Isn't it cute? Anyway, so you can either look further back on my channel and you will see everything when it's in bloom and alive and healthy, or you can wait until things start coming back to life. And unfortunately, a lot of my bushes already have buds, which sucks because we will most definitely have another freeze. And this is a sand cherry, which I've never seen before in my life or eaten. And the deer got to it, no matter what kind of support I put around it. But look at the neighbor's dog. I absolutely hate their little dog. Well, not hate, but I wish she might not have been born in this neighborhood. But anyway, look at my agates and my rose quartz. So I am a rock fanatic, obviously. Even right now in my Jeep, there is rocks on the passenger seat floor because I love the rocks. And look how pretty these ones are. I like this one. Let me get to it. There it is. I think you can see it. My hair's in the way. I didn't pull it back in. It's really windy. And then there's my hair. And my other hand is full of trash I picked up out of the yard that's blown all over the place. And this one is a honeysuckle. I can't remember which one because the deer have eaten it to absolutely almost nothing. But look how beautiful these rocks are. You can't really see because, and I really have to clean them out. Like I said, I haven't gotten anything done since September because of all the trauma and traveling and trauma and just pain. And it's been so cold. I just can't stand the cold. I can't believe that every side of my ancestry is people from cold weather areas. And that dog, again, I'm really mad at them. But I try to be a good neighbor, so I haven't said anything, but I sure out their dog. And this one was a little juniper, but it's not making it. And, or a pine of some sort, actually. And then more beautiful rocks. I love them. And my cherry tree with its protection, and it's growing buds, unfortunately, before the last frost. But usually I keep a net bag over them because the deer try to eat them also to nothing. And then you can see I put those little really hot, pretty peppers down there. And I have the house landscaping. It's not my house once again. And so from these bamboo on, I planted mullein and mint and sages and marigolds and all kinds of things that the deer don't like. And so I still have some mullein coming up. Look at new mullein. And you can see, but they're all native to the area. So these are native plants that I got some more of the roof that came off from the storms. And so I made sure to plant native. And this is my little bird, like, little haven. They love it. And so I have sage for them and some marigolds and some catmint. And this is growing more. This is also a choke cherry bush. And so I have my feeders up here, and then I have a little fence so the deer can't come right up as easy, but obviously it's fallen over because of the weather, and so I have to fix that. And we have some chipmunks that live in the stump, and so they come and eat whatever they want off my porch because they're chipmunks and you can't stop them. That is also a choke cherry. And so this is the little bird haven. And of course, I had to put some of my rocks because I find amazing rocks and I love them. And I threw some of my Jimson weed seeds out here, hoping that they will grow up here and throughout here and keep the deer out of my things. And so this is also a cherry bush, or cherry tree. They're edible and they're delicious. But as you can see, I have more of my pretty rocks and some more of the high spicy hot peppers that are really beautiful, and some more pretty rocks. And I don't know who, but somebody's dog died, and one of my dogs was digging it up and chewing on its head. So I had to find a big boulder to put on it. So rest in peace, somebody's dog. I don't know. And again, I had to wrap them so they don't rut on them. And then I have a bag that goes over them so that they can't eat them as they're growing. And then we have like my sage and some more dog poop. And it's so little that I know it's not my dog's. That's how I know the difference. But, and that is my dog, so I'm trying not to show you the poop, sorry. This is a flowering maple, and it's protected from the rutting, and this string is part of what I wrap it up with. But I realized the wraps I was buying on Amazon are way more expensive than a laundry bag that you could buy at the dollar store. And, oh, and there's the other solar light that goes with this one, so on its own. Okay, so it could not have blown from there to where I found it in the backyard. That's crazy. But anyway, so this is the flowering maple, and it will also be covered again. And look at my rocks. Aren't they gorgeous? I just absolutely love them. And I will tell you, every one of these rocks I have out in the yard are from South Dakota. The ones I was gifted and that came from other places are in a cabinet I have in my bedroom. So I can look at them all the time, my little pretties. But I do have to clean this up and organize them a little bit more, because it's been a rough season up here in the north. Ow, my hair got stuck in the bush. Okay, so we have more mullein, and I leave it like that so it seeds. So everybody that wants their perfect yard is probably very angry at me because I let all my stuff seed. And unless I cut it, a lot of it I had cut and take to my son's memorial. And like my sunflowers that were in the flower bed and some of my other natural native South Dakota plants, I took to my son's memorial so that they weren't store-bought. They were actually grown with love and attention and a little part of me, right? And so there's some more rocks. And I'm sorry, the wind is so bad I have to go in. My hair is driving me crazy. And I see all these pieces of dirt or, trash that have blown all over the place because these windstorms we have been just absolutely incredible. And it's just a big mess. Anyway, y'all have a great day. Find something beautiful to look into today, and don't just pass by the rocks. Sit and stop a spell and enjoy the beauty of them. I mean, to you it might just be a rock, but there's so many layers. Look at all that. Imagine all the different things these rocks have seen in their life, especially being in South Dakota. These ones are my favorite because they have such a mixture. You can see they have some rose quartz in them and all kinds of bits and pieces of things. And then there's another one of my big rose quartz, but it's not just rose quartz. There's like all kinds of other things in it, And I think it's just beautiful. And then we have my really big one. Well, this one's really cute too. It has like some things going on in it, and it's just really pretty. And you can tell they haven't been cleaned yet. They still have the red clay all over them from where I found them. Fall in love with them. And then we have, those are pretty too. We have this one, which is just an amazing rock, and it's so pink. It just has so much going on. Look at that sparkling quartz inside of it, and just everything that's going on. It is so beautiful. It has so much going on. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Just a beautiful piece. And have some other ones. Look at all that stuff that's going on there, right? Lots of stuff going on there. This one. And I have this one, which is also very beautiful. It has the hints of the smoky quartz and a little bit of the hint of the rose quartz. And then this one, look at this masterpiece of rock. Like, you really can't see the sparkle in it and what's really going on with it, and I can't see through my hair, so I have no idea what I'm showing you right now. So we'll have to look at these again when I have my shit together and my hair pulled back. I just can't to look at the damage, and I thought I saw that grass growing out of all the darkness, and I thought I wanted to share it. But can you see that? It's probably pyrite or something, but it's just so beautiful. And I have so many specimens of just the most beautiful rock. And I really do need a tumbler and a rock saw. But I have a Dremel, so I can clean some of them up a little bit. But my goodness, can you see? And when I travel, you should just know that somebody's getting some rocks. Because I like to gift them. Do you see that piece in there? The black rock. They say from the satellite, the Black Hills are even black. And it's just, I can't wait to see. It's almost like a face, right? Am I crazy, or do you see the face? And just, I don't know. I mean, I just think they are so amazing. And there's so many of them. And I don't want to stop. I don't have any interest in like being the person that, I have enough rocks. I don't need not one more rock in my life. To me, they're life. They're like the grandfathers, right? Like, they've lived so many generations. Like, look at this guy. Look, and I'll put my foot up here. And I'll show you, like, the pure size of these things are just unreal. Look at this. That's, like, all the way around, and, like, this one you can see, like, there's my foot. There's, like, everything that's happening there. And it's just unreal. They're so amazing. These ones, there's so much beauty in here. And I showed you the one that looks like the mountain on top to me. But even in my flower bed, I put some really nice rocks in there too. But, like, there's just so much going on in each of these, So much they've seen and been a part of. And, look at the little fragile, little itty bitty fossils going on in there even, and just amazing. But I really do have to go in because this wind is impossible, and I have to get started or finished on my projects because I have a whole list. I haven't done hardly anything since I've been back except making the inside clean, but I have a lot of things I have to do, and you can't sit and hold and touch and clean and deal with all my beautiful rocks today like I'd love to and organize them, but the wind is killing me, and I know that I haven't haven't decided what that's probably some petrified rock right there. Or wood, I mean, sorry. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do this year with the yard, and I do something different. This will be my 3rd year that I do something with this yard, and so I'll have to figure out what I'm going to do with it. Isn't this just absolutely amazing? Yeah, I really need a tumbler or a rock saw. If anybody has one available, please get a hold of me. I really need to, plus, if I have those items, I'll be able to make better gifts for people and be able to make them wind chimes and do all kinds of things for other people for my gift giving. And, no lie, you can talk to anybody that really knows me and they'll tell you I probably showed up at their house with a bunch of rocks. Or one time I showed up at my sister's house with a bunch of bamboo. And I'm telling you, my chosen sister, like somebody I chose to love, and we chose to be a part of each other's life. We weren't just born together and thrown together by the powers that be, the creator. But anyway, yeah, look at these. Like, I have so many amazing rocks. And I'm not done yet. My passenger Jeep and my passenger seat floor in my Jeep has a ton of rocks. And I even have some that were borderlining the outside here and borderlining the inside. Like, here's a piece of one right here that was holding the fence together and all that. You know, it's a lot of gypsum in that one. But, yeah, so you can see I even have, and look at my lamb's ear, or lamb's, whatever it is, it's growing good. It's the mullein look-alike. A lot of people think that they have mullein, and they actually have this one, lamb's ear, or lamb's quarters, or something. And then, well, this wood we didn't need, so I moved it. But if you look, I even have some amazing pieces in here. And they're just absolutely gorgeous. Just beautiful. And this is another piece that is probably gypsum from where we found it. Me and my sister, she'll know who she is. But her and I found a bunch of this, and I kept some of it. And, yeah, they're just, look at this. The rose quartz mixed with everything else. It's just unreal. Absolutely beautiful. And this one I'm holding on to because I'm taking it in because it's gotten pretty small, and I like to put it inside a plant. See the gypsum. If you're a home builder, you know what this is used for. And then you have or even somebody from demolition. If you deal with any kind of construction or deconstruction, you know exactly what gypsum is used for. And not just the town by where I grew up at, but it's actually used for something in building, and you'll know what it is. And I'm not going to tell you the secret, but y'all can let me know if you know, because I know. And I just have such amazing pieces. And it's so hard to look at a rock and not see that no two are identical unless they're, you know, mass produced to be that way, or fake, or whatever. But nature, someone once told me, nature has no straight lines, and nature makes no mistakes. And I don't know who said that, but I'm sure you could probably find a straight tree or a straight plant or something. But I don't remember who told me that, but they said nature has no straight lines, and no two are the same, and nature never makes a mistake. Mother Nature, Macaw, or she, Grandmother Nature, you know. But look at this one. This one is just a beautiful piece. Do you see that? Just a beautiful piece. So these are the borders of the old garden. I have to redo everything anyway, but Before everything starts growing in springtime, I have to get it all together and decide how it's going to be this year. See, there's somewhere that gypsum. You can see it. See how it crumbles? That's a good hint to it too, but see how it crumbles? If you put a whole bunch of nails in your wall, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about right now. But here's some more gypsum too, and some quartz and gypsum mix. And here in South Dakota, there was that entire community they built on a gypsum mine. And as the houses started falling apart, they all argued over whose fault it was, not pretending like not everybody knew that everybody should have known there was a mine under there, right? And, so yeah, part of that community is still standing, but fenced off and fallen in, and there's people that still live on the other side of the community, though they don't mind, and they haven't moved yet. I just was by there not too long ago and saw that whole thing. But yeah, gypsum was mined here in South Dakota. Was it mined in your state? I don't know where you are, but I don't know if it was mined in your state or not. If so, you know what it is. And how soft and easy to break it is, Look at all those. That was breathing at one time. Something was going on with it, and you get it underneath. I'll put it over there so I can clear this out eventually anyway and figure everything out. Again, there's so much going on in each one. It's just... So this is my world. Oh yeah, and look, I have those fake flowers sitting over there. I had those out last year. And my granddaughter, poor thing, she's just so beautiful. I love her so much. She was like, Grandma, you do have flowers growing. Because I was telling her, nothing's growing yet, blah, blah. And she was like, Grandma, you do have flowers growing. And she dragged me out to look. And I felt so bad telling her they weren't real. It broke my heart because she was so excited. And I had to tell her, Honey Bunny Pumpkin Pie. That's what I call her, Honey Bunny Pumpkin Pie. Or I call her my cowgirl princess. Anyway, I told her, they're not real. Those were the owner of the house that bought it in 1971. Those were hers, and I brought them outside and stuck them out there for a bit of color because everything was so dead and gloomy. And it just broke her poor little heart. I felt so bad. But, this fence is stealing my hair. It's time to go put my whole hair back. I'm having a hell of a time over here. Yeah, this is more of that mint and everything that took over my life. It took over this entire flower bed at one point. And then I moved it over here, and it took over this whole area over here. And it was just absolutely everywhere. Mint is good to keep everything away, but it does reproduce, and it does grow like crazy. So, anyway, y'all have a beautiful day. Oh, look at all the little suckers over there.